message to the government.
I met Bobi at university. I didn't know he was a musician. He was different.
We are fighting for freedom.
I didn't have so many dreams. She impacted my life. She made me realize we had to impact other lives. I've come to Parliament and taken an oath to protect the Constitution of Uganda. Somebody had to speak for us. People thought I had the loudest voice.
We are fighting for freedom. Again, one more confident time.
This year's presidential election could see 71-year-old President Museveni serve a fifth term in office.
No leader has ever handed over power peacefully. This is a military regime dressed in a civil facade.
We have the Honorable Bobi Wine with us.
As a matter of fact, now I'm doing this.
Why is my husband held in a military barracks? If I could see him, then I would know what I am actually dealing with.
Our Bobby should be released.
I would rather represent the resilience of Ugandans. We stand for equality and dignity for everybody. We are non-violent, and we continue to preach non-violence.
I am not a criminal. I am a presidential candidate.
Nothing will stop him.
We must get our freedom or we shall die trying.
We are fighting for freedom. We are fighting for freedom.
Boom, there you go. That was a trailer for Bobi Wine, the People's President. It's available right now on Disney Plus as well as Hulu. Go check it out. It's so good. It's so inspiring. I'm Kuya. This is Nerds Rule the World. And as you see on the screen, I'm so delighted, so excited to have the director, Moses Bwayo. I hope I pronounced your last name correctly. It is an honor and a pleasure to meet you, sir. This is a tremendous documentary. So good.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me, Patrick. It's an honor to be here today.
Thank you, sir. So again, kudos, bravo. I live in the DC area, so I have a lot of fellow filmmaker friends that are documentarians. I watch a lot of it. It's so good, so inspiring. And this one is eons above a lot of those that I've seen lately. Kudos to you, sir. But I have to commend you on the bravery of a lot of the work, and especially because of the work that you did in this documentary. I don't know if I could do it. I commend all of my other fellow filmmakers that do documentary work because of the subject material that you're trying to, put out there in the world. There's a lot that goes with that. How did this project come to you? I know you're from Uganda. How did the connection form and to just bring this whole experience to life?
Thank you, Patrick, and thank you for those kind words. At the time when Bobi Wine came into Parliament in 2017, he had just won an election in his constituency, and he won it by about 75% of the vote. And he was asking all the youth and the whole population to get involved in the goings on of our country, in the running of our country. And I had been myself, I was inspired by him, and I thought this was a very courageous individual going against the dictatorship, and because nobody was speaking like he was, and he was asking everybody to pay attention to what was going on. I and many other youth in the country had been alienated from politics, and I had never voted in an election because you feel like you don't have to. They're useless because at the end of the day, the result, the dictatorship, it's going to go to a winner from the state. But he was saying, look, if we don't get involved, then we're going to get bad leaders who don't represent us, who don't represent what we think or what we want. So I was very inspired. So my co-director and producer, Christopher Sharp, got in touch around the same time and said, look, I want to make a film about this guy. Would you be interested? And, very quickly I said yes. And lo and behold, here we are. But I must say, Patrick, the brave people here were the people on the forefront, Bobi Wine, his wife, I have not seen people with such, courage and brevity, and the youth and the people around him in the political movement. We've lost so many people, multiple people. Some have been kidnapped and they've disappeared and we don't know where they are. Those are the heroes of this story. But working on this film, following Bobi Wine, enemy number one of the president of the state, there was, it wasn't easy. It wasn't an easy task. It was 5 years in the making. Through those 5 years, I was arrested and locked up in prison and shot in the face at close range. But again, it was a national story. It was a revolution happening, before me. So I feel very blessed and fortunate that I was present in that time to tell this story.
Wow. Yeah, Moses, I'm so thankful you're here to endure all that. And just, yes, you're all heroes. You are all heroes. I can only imagine putting this documentary together. There's so many questions I have that as a creative and as a filmmaker, because there's so many amazing imagery, and you're just seeing the outlandishness of people just stopping and pulling, the mayor live on camera. It's that tragic and that brazen. Getting these shots and building those relationships and covering certain things. Were there anything that can you just maybe just talk to the actual production aspect of getting everybody together? I don't know how many crew were working with you. I'm assuming small crew, because you don't want to create a spotlight because the oppressive people are looking and saying, oh, we can target you. If you can talk to that effect.
Yeah, in the beginning, we were working with two other incredible cinematographers, Sam Benstead and Michele Sibiloni. One Italian, one from Italy, and the other from the UK. Incredible, talented cinematographers. But as we as the story developed, they were Caucasian, and they were looked at as a threat, and very quickly they started receiving threatening messages, and they were asked to leave. So in fact, they had to leave the project, and they had to flee the country as well. And most of the time it was me, Bobi, and the people around him. But to put together the story and to tell it as it is, we used a lot of archival footage. We used a lot of news footage from news cameramen who some of whom we cannot credit and put names in the film because they're still living in Uganda. But a lot of those
hiding the camera, was it like spy wise in a different way, like masking it with like objects just to?
No, Patrick, no, I had the camera in my hands. I was I shot with mostly I had an FS7, which is the big camera, which I would shoot with for mainly planned things. But for most of the crazy scenes that you see in the film, I had a small S7 III, a Sony S7 III, which is an incredible camera, and with low light, shoots 4K. Great. They've made great Sony lenses nowadays, really good glass. And they have very nice audio like rig. And I had rigged it up a little bit, and it was a decent camera, and in those spaces over time, 5 years of following Bobi, I became just like a fly on the wall. In fact, when I wasn't there, that's when they noticed, but I was with them most of the time. And it's mainly, a handheld camera, and I filmed it, you film it, and with the background of journalism, I would be thinking of the shots and how we're going to edit and how the story would tie together. So, there's lots of moving around and finding different angles and shots and,
I can only imagine post being a lot of fun to figure out everything and get it all in there. How has this project changed you? I think I saw that you're now living in LA. You're like a refugee now from your country because of everything. If you could speak to that and
a lot has changed. A lot has changed since making this film. I don't live in Uganda anymore. I'm now living in the United States, and I'm seeking political asylum now. But I feel very fortunate and blessed to this country. But there's one thing I must say. I hope the American population understand, or the Western population know, that democracies are very fragile. And that's the one thing we want to say with this film. Democracies are very, very fragile, and they need protection. If you don't protect them, the situation that you see in the film, that's what you get. You get a totalitarian regime, this strongman syndrome, where individuals serve this one person, that's what you get, in the film, there's a scene where they change a bill, an article in the Ugandan constitution. It's all in the favor of the incumbent, President Museveni. They changed, he had reached an age limit of 75 years and he would not run again. But, he pays these MPs. 2 weeks before that vote, everyone in parliament received $30,000 on their accounts. So there's like corruption, and after they vote him, they're all celebrating, not because they've done something really good. It's because of this strongman syndrome. They want to serve this one individual who feels like a god. In fact, after the election, there's a lady, one of the MPs, who's very happy. She's like high-fiving all her MPs. She's now the prime minister of Uganda.
Wow!
Because of the work she did during that vote, she's now the prime minister. And you're like, she's not qualified to be the prime minister, but she was rewarded. So there's this thing of serving this one big individual, and that's what you get if you don't protect your democracy. So I hope the American people get to see this film, and I hope the message gets home that you need to protect your democracy and show up and vote.
Most definitely. We just came out of an election here in the US. I completely agree. This is a tremendous body of work, Moses. You are to be commended, and I am so thankful for you. And I hope not just here in the US, but everyone sees this so we can stop oppression and stop just evil. This is just like straight up evil. And I'm so honored to talk to you, Moses. Everybody, check out Bobi Wine, the People's President, streaming right now on Disney Plus, Hulu. So important. Moses, it's such an honor to talk to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Patrick.
Appreciate y'all. Everybody, Bobi Wine, People's President, Kuya Pete, Nerds Rule the World. Kuya P, Nerds Rule the World, WTOPFM Radio. Thank you so much, Moses. It's a pleasure to chat with you.
Thanks, Patrick. I love the name. Nerds Rule the World.
Yes. I love it. I'm going to count us in to help me with my edit. In a 1, 2, 3.